Hey guys, we're here for another episode of the Pickleball Unplugged podcast. With me, I have my co-host today, Mr. Sanjay, and we also have two special guests here today with us, uh, Ramya and Feroz, some of the best pickleball players considering all genders in Hyderabad, and both belonging to the Style Smashers. So let's get a little bit of insights into their experience so far in HPL and a couple of interesting questions as well. So welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
It's really nice to be here.
Yeah, great to have you guys as well. So, to start off, we want a little bit of introduction from. I mean, I'm sure all of us know you from having played with you guys, seen you guys, but a little bit of insights into how you got into pickleball. Do you have a tennis background coming into it, and some basic introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so I used to play cricket way before 10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's my first love.
Okay. Okay.
My elder brother used to play cricket, and so he was my role model. So I would just follow everything he would do.
Okay.
And slowly he moved to tennis, so I followed that. I got into tennis. I played that for a couple of years, and then I let it go. And that was like 20 years ago.
Okay.
Last played tennis. So last year, I think it was around October, November, that I was just scrolling through the general feed on my Instagram account, and I saw somebody's post on pickleball. And it looked a lot like tennis. So I did a lot of research, and I told my husband, I think you and I should go and try it out because he also played tennis when he was in his teens. And I think we started looking up for places in Hyderabad, any new places that have opened up for pickleball. We found one in Kondapur. So we went and tried it out last in November. And so I think that was the first time we played pickleball, and we really loved it because it took us back to our childhood. You know, both of us love sports, and it was like, okay, we're getting to play something like tennis all over again. So why not? Yeah. So that's how it started. And I think it was in Feb that I started playing regularly. And then I met Parna and Anisha and Manshu, and they told us about some tournaments. So we were lying games. Like, geez. And now I'm part of this amazing community where, I've met so many nice people, talented, hardworking people, including all of you. And it's been about 7, 8 so regular people all play since then.
What about you, Ramya?
I have a tennis background. My mom played tennis as well growing up, along with her brothers. And then she got me introduced to it quite early. But I think while tennis is my first love, I play any racket sport. Give me any racket, tell me what the rules are, I'll figure out how to do it. And I grew up in Pondicherry, actually. So wasn't too many people that I could play with often. So I would play with the marker runners there, who are the ones who kind of lay the court, who draw the lines. And they have, if you see, a very peculiar style of play, which is very effortless. And they slice their backhand. Their backhand is not a double hand. It's very old school. So that's how I learned playing. And if you see my style of play today, it's very heavily influenced from that. Right? So that's who I started playing with. That's how I learned. And I would play constantly with men that were elder to me. And I was still a kid there. So they would push me up to the volley area and say, go volley, it's fine if you miss, we'll figure it out. And today that's helping me in pickleball, where I'm confident with my net play. So yeah, I think it all somehow seems to add up. So I started out with tennis, branched out to other racket sports as well. But now it's been a year since I picked up pickleball. I started with an internal, like I work in a corporate setup. So in our internal tournament, I started out there. It came pretty easy. And then one of my colleagues, shout out to Puneet, he called me for my first mixed doubles tournament. And yeah, first tournament, and I was hooked after that. Didn't take it seriously for the first, I'd say, 6 to 7 months. And then I went to one tournament in Bangalore, got humbled really badly. And I figured, okay, I might be doing okay in Hyderabad, but if I really want to get good at this sport, everyone's got to get better really quick. So I had to put in the work. So June, July onwards, I've gotten a lot more serious. Yeah, that's my job.
And what was your thought process going into something like a Hyderabad Pickleball League? So, it's not just you saying. I think there were a lot of others also who got humbled when they went to Bombay or Bangalore, because they are at least like 1-2 years ahead of us, and they've been playing very regularly. And the tournament setup is very different right there, right? And every time, I don't think we had winners once we went to other cities But now that we started our own league, and the graph has always been going up for every player. I think even if they're not part of any team, they're pushing the marks, right? So what was your thought process when HPL, something like HPL even came into existence, or the auction, for example, or they were kind of getting in 8 teams and 8 captains, and they wanted like something like IPL, right? Like a franchise model. What was your thought process? I mean, were you excited to be part of it, or I mean, how did you even think of such things? I mean,
Go for it.
Yeah.
So I was super excited when I got to know about the APL. Again, like you said, it's on similar grounds of IPL. Again, going back to cricket, and we're going to give you something similar like that in pickleball. So I was looking forward to it. And I think the moment I got to know about it, I think within a day or two, I registered also for it. And it's been great so far. I met so many people, which I hadn't met before the auction. I didn't even know about them. And I'm looking forward to the coming weeks.
So both of you got picked up for like the maximum allotted
yeah.
amount, right? Like 1 lakh. So were you expecting that, or was it unexpected? Like what was going on in your head when you got picked up that amount?
I mean, I knew. So 2 teams did tell me that they were interested in me. Neither of them picked
Just
me.
2?
Just one. No, 2 teams were direct with
Direct.
the European were looking up. But I knew there was because they were looking at doubles duper. My doubles duper wasn't that high, so I knew I would come a little later. And every team had a limited purse, right? So I knew there was a possibility that might not also happen. I was prepared for it. I'm kind of a mental preparer. So I was prepared for 30 and above is what I told myself. But I wasn't thinking of 1 lakh, to be honest. A lot of people did tell me that seemed likely. But yeah, I was elated. And also to answer your question, personally, let's be honest, it's one of the coolest things that a lot of us have done. And it's grown so much more than what we thought it would be, right? And I was telling Himanshu in the first week that there are thinkers and doers. You guys are definitely doers, right? You took an idea within a few weeks, you had owners signed up, captains signed up. And I think, yeah, it's just gotten to a level where a lot of people are now wanting to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Externally texted us. So yeah, it's been a really nice experience so far.
But I mean, during the auction, for example, both of you all went for 1 lakh, right?
To the same team.
To the same team.
Yeah.
Did you think it didn't go well in terms of the auction? What was your thought process? I mean, during the auction, I mean, I'm pretty sure like you've played with your team and you thought, yeah, we have a couple of guys who are actually good. But when the team spent almost 66% of the purse for just 2 players, with Harsh also being part of the team, did you think it was too much spent on you both, and the rest of the team did not, you did not pick good players for the rest of the team? Did you guys have any thought process of something like that?
No, I think the men that we have in our team are also really, really good. Just that people didn't know about them, you know. I was just telling them that they're the dark horses of the team and they really proved themselves out there. If you go back to the first week where we played against the Warriors, they did a fabulous job and we're super proud of them. And now they know what they're all about and what to expect from them. Of course, we're very grateful that they thought we were, 1 lakh each. But I won't take anything away from the men that we have in our team. They're fabulous.
I second that, and I would also like to add though that I think that their strategy was to take that gamble, right? They went all in on that. Few teams went for balance, few teams went for experienced players. So each one came with their strategy. I think the Starry Smashers, our strategy was take that gamble, let's bet on the women. And it almost did pay off. Both times we lost, we almost
Very
did
close
not,
matches.
right? So my thoughts were, it's a gamble. If it works, amazing. And if it doesn't, I think it's a big learning as well. This is season 1.
Yeah.
So yes, on paper, it looked like that the women were solid, but in reality, we're seeing that our men have definitely turned up.
Yes. No, I'm not surprised. I mean, Rohan was somebody that people are actually talking. I mean, Anisha was talking to me before the auction because I think she's seen him play, and she told me look out for somebody like him. And once he won against Bhaskar, and then people are like, yeah, there is somebody to look forward in this team.
And Saran has really showed up as well. If you saw
Yeah.
Friday match, he hit like 15 of the same shots with so much eruptions from the volley. Yeah, one drops to perfection. So he's also represented India in tennis. So a lot of players that we didn't know about. And yeah, so there's more to come.
And also, I think last week we had a trade window, right?
Yeah.
Most of the people were expecting the Starry Smashers to do a couple of trades, provided the kind of balance that they wanted and all. And I think there were a couple of people who were surprised that the Starry did not do any changes. Is there? Is that something that as a team that you guys want to just go ahead with the same team? You don't want to do any kind of changes, or is it a call that your team has taken together? I mean, what was the thought process on that?
So I think that the first week, I'm speaking for my team owners here, who I haven't personally had a chat specifically about this for, but from what I am sensing, that they wanted to keep the team that they and back the team that they got and they formed, right? And not everyone has gotten that opportunity to be on court. So I think kudos to them. They've picked players and then they've backed them. Now, I am more of a ruthless person. So I also was initially a little surprised that we didn't make any changes at all. But I'm like, when I took a step back and I thought about it, I think it was the right thing to do. Take another few weeks, figure out what our overall game plan is, and then see what we want to do. But I think that from my vantage point right now, it looks like the team owners wanted to back the players that we have.
I think they're one of the few teams who've given an opportunity for like everyone in the squad to at least play one match, like a non-dream breaker scenario. I think everyone has played at least one match so far within the 3 weeks. So I think that is what backs up what Ramya is saying. They want to give an opportunity to everybody. And as you know, we spoke earlier, even though they lost the last two fixtures, they were like very tight matches.
Really close last.
Very, very tight. Last one was especially tight because
This is a game breaker,
game
right?
breaker.
And
The individual ties as
Even the individual ties are very
16, 12, 15. That's where we're losing.
Very
We
close.
lose a few coins here and there. So kudos to them to like back the players.
And adding to that, I just feel like the whole purpose of an auction is lost if you just want to change your team so fast. You know, like give everybody a chance and give everybody a shot to play, and then you can decide if you want to. But we're working with the same team, and we're going to get them stronger and get the results hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get there because, even, as Sunday said, even though there's a window to get in new players, maybe as you've seen with the Kirti Warriors, someone like the Kirti Warriors,
there did 3 changes. Yeah,
I think two of them were like, one of them was like full
injury replacement. Yeah, okay.
But I think there's someone who needed like a bit of confidence, maybe changing up of a combination.
And it did show up, right?
They show up.
They won 2 games.
They won 2 games.
Yeah.
But I think maybe your team, it's more about maybe giving opportunity to your whole squad. And because as you guys have told us, they're like capable enough to come up with the results. Even though last match was like very close, it didn't go. Maybe in the coming weeks, I'm sure we'll see them get better and maybe get some surprising results as well.
Yeah.
So it's a good strategy to have for sure.
Yeah. And what did you guys think about when people on the podcast, when the so-called analysts,
All of them were
all of them were putting you down, or not putting you down. In fact, they kind of thought these people are not good enough. They knew that you both are the star performers of the team, but maybe they thought the team lacked a certain
balance,
balance or the winning zeal,
Yeah.
something on those lines. Did you as a team talk about it? As in, after most of them predicted maybe Starry can finish 7th or 8th. Did you guys as a team group together and talk about it and say, see, this is what people are talking about us, and I think we need to prove them wrong, or we need to do something right? Was there any chatter in the team?
I'm happy to answer it. Yeah, but then yeah.
No, I don't think we specifically discussed all of that. Our meetings were more about like our strategy, what we want to do for the first week. The only time we discussed it was right before our tie with Kirti, which was the first week. Harsh sent out a message saying we got to prove people wrong. That fire was there. I think it was an undercurrent in all of our minds. We didn't particularly discuss it, but I think all of us had that fire in our minds. Feroz and I think, had that silent pressure on us saying, okay, we need to ensure our ties are solid. But I don't think that pressure was ever externally on us. It was just internally we knew, okay, we really need to show up for the team. But that's about it. And after the first match where we got that first win in the men's doubles, I think it was immediately relaxing for our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good morale boost,
Yeah.
getting the first one because
That was the way you guys won, right? It was a 5-1 victory. So not
And
very
people
close.
were rating Soli and Pratap really, really high. Yeah. And beating them, I think everybody was hooked on to the other game with
Yeah.
the All Stars, I think. And when people saw the scoreline and they were like, what's happening here? Let's move here.
And Island Rohan also beating Bhaskar.
Yeah, that was also a great
That was a
game.
great
Yeah.
match.
the highlight on that day. Beating Oscar.
Yeah, I think we came in with the we need to show people wrong, we need to figure out. But it was a silent undercurrent in our own mind.
Okay. Okay, coming back to the 3 games, you haven't lost till now.
Yeah.
Touch wood. So yeah. So but you have not played the same combinations. I think Feroz was not available last week, and you had to play in the singles. Predominantly, I mean, see, you guys are not singles players, is what you've told me. But how do you guys take a call on who's going to play what? Is there some kind of a strategy that comes in because of your opponents, or is a call that you guys take as in a team environment? I mean, what is the thought?
Right before a match, you usually go through the different combinations we can have. But because I mostly played singles more than doubles, and Ramya is amazing in doubles and singles as well, we just thought that it'd be better if I do the singles and then Ramya handles both the doubles next as well as women's doubles. So that's mostly our strategy. But last week, I wasn't there. So she took charge and she did a fabulous job against Soumya. She played really well, and I'm really proud of her.
Oh, yeah. No, so I think both of us are actually singles players.
Yeah.
So for us, it was
Did I say some? Sorry, I'm sorry.
that's okay. So both of us started out as singles players, but I think the last 1.5 to 2 months I've been kind of focusing on doubles to learn that because it's a different technique altogether. And I think the first thing I told Feroz was, listen, let's keep it clear for the first 2 weeks. You're playing singles. Let's not try to do a bit of both and mess up in terms of preparing for the league. And then if for whatever reason that's not working out, I'm not a bad backup to have for singles. So we can obviously change it out. So we wanted to have it clear in the first 2 weeks. And then after that, based on our opponents, we can take it as we.
So talking a little bit about the pressure, you guys are definitely some of the star players in the whole city, but also for your team, right? So is there like added pressure so that you have to perform every match, you have to win all your matches, so that if there is less pressure on your teammates? Is there something that goes on in your head before you go into a match, or how does it work for you guys?
There is a little pressure, to be honest. Our captain and our owners, of course, I mean, they invested so much in us. They expect us to win all our matches. And of course, we also want to do really well for the team. So women's singles, women's doubles and mixed doubles, we at least want to win that. And so there is this pressure of going in before every match, that you have to perform well, you have to do really well, because that's what is expected of you. And you should also do it for yourself. You have to also prove yourself that you're of that caliber,
So yes, there is pressure. I think there's little bit of pressure in my head. Firstly, it's all internal. There's been absolutely Harsh has given us. He's like, go high, man. That's all he has, right?
Still.
But I think for me, I'm taking it as more of a fun experience where I want to play solid pickleball. That's all. Like, I would be disappointed if my game doesn't come on the day. Win-loss, I've not felt as.
When you're not lost so far.
Well, I did lose the game breaker, but yeah.
That's a couple of points, I guess. But that's the first time you guys are playing the game breaker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was it new? I mean, did you think that we didn't go with the right strategy, or anything like that? Or
How was your
did you guys even
Yeah.
practice a game breaker?
We definitely did.
Okay.
No, I think our strategy was also fine. A couple of points here and there, and
Yeah.
I think
Dasos is playing the second game breaker, right? So they've played before, and same thing happened with the Raptors also. They played 3 game breakers, and third time they got not lucky. They played better. I mean, they got this.
strategy.
Yeah. So I mean, that plays a lot of role in terms of how how those matchups play, right? So did you guys think from only your point of view, or did you think from your opponent's point of view also? So maybe you can kind of think that, you say Vivek is coming first, and who's our matchup going to be against?
In terms of lineup,
In terms of lineup
order-
also,
order.
was there some strategy in terms of that also, or was it just your team?
No.
As in, you were sticking to your strengths.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of that, but it was mainly to ensure that we had our best players up front. And I think it was our first game breaker, as you said, right? So we'll figure out these further strategies and tweaks as we go. But I think we were playing to our strengths, but we were aware of, okay, they're going to send these people. Like we did do that bit of research. I think we were 17 all. So it was a really
Yeah.
close fought game breaker. So
Yeah.
after that, it can go either way, right? It's
Nerves.
Fun's game. So yeah, tough loss.
Talking a little bit more about playing at the HPL, right? So it's very different from how we've seen the regular tournaments are, right? Where you just go, you register, play your matches, you chill, and then you go, right? Here, it's not exactly been the same. You know, you're playing in front of a bigger audience, more vocal audience, more in-your-face audience, right? And there's also like a lot of cameras focusing on you, commentary going on, LED screens, people heckling at you, maybe opposition heckling at you, all that. So how has all that been, like playing in front of, in this environment? How has that been for you guys so far?
The first week was like a rough start for me, actually, because on a personal note, I was very nervous in the first week because, I mean, I've played a couple of big tournaments in Hyderabad, like the HPC, the Hyderabad Open, where you had people coming in from other cities, Coimbatore, Bangalore, etc. So we didn't have this sort of setup in those tournaments. So I didn't feel the pressure there that much. But the first week was a lot of pressure and I was very nervous. But then I think after the first doubles match we had, I kind of,
There's also because Kirti was the home team, right?
Yeah.
And they got in quite a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I eased into it by the time I had to play my singles.
Touch wood again, I am thriving in this environment.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving the atmosphere and just the overall team strategy that we're doing. Having a really nice time.
Okay, cool. I think we'll quickly wrap up with the last segment of, like we ask a lot of people, who do you think will qualify to the top 4? So according to you,
Right now, who's third?
I think that Das was Dynamos Iftaraj.
Okay, cool. So
They have 2 wins.
I think Mavericks and Nandi look poised to take first 2. I think Titans have a good chance if they hold their nerve. They had a really nice match yesterday, so they leveled up, I feel.
Starry 4th.
Yeah, I feel like if we can pull off some upsets, yes, I would love to see us there. I'm aiming anywhere between 3rd to 6th in my head because I feel like we are the dark horses and we can do it. But I also feel like they're a really strong team. So I'm going to say between Starry and Raptor.
Is there a game that you're looking forward to? You think?
Or a matchup against any specific player from a specific team or against a whole team in general that you're looking forward to or maybe not looking forward to as well? There's something that I feel.
No, we're looking forward to all the matches. I think the Mavericks probably taking on the Mavericks would also be, I think.
No, I think it'll be fab. Like,
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, being part of the Mavericks, I think when we talk about teams in general, definitely Starry Smash is one of the teams where the team feels that even before the league started, right?
Yeah.
When we were discussing as a group, we were like, I'm not sure how others are looking at it, but from our point of view, they look like a very strong team. And, we had a couple of insights into some of your players, so-called unknown players, right? And we were like, yeah, Starry is definitely going to be a strong opposition for us. We're not talking about the league in general, but when we face them, it's going to be a very tight matches.
The matchup.
Matchup spot.
More road matchups, yeah. Because
Thought of.
if we had won yesterday's game, I would have definitely said that we have a chance of coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Feroz?
Well, Mavericks and the Chargers for sure. They seem to be the top 2 from here. And I think they will make it to the top 4.
Do you think there's any team that's going to have a dream run from here?
I'm assuming they're the Raptors. I think they have. I think they've understood now what to do, right? Like they've had different strategies and they know what works for them now. And the fourth could be between, I want to say Starry Smashers, right? So that and maybe All Stars
You left out the Titans.
and the Titans, sorry, yeah. So, I mean, it's very difficult to say who comes where,
Yeah.
but
The next week is kind of very crucial, right?
yes.
And you guys are playing the title?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you like praising them just to put them off and then you go and, you know?
I think on their day they're a strong team. When they're not having their day, I feel like they're having a few easy losses. So I'm hoping next week is our week.
Good luck, guys. And on that note, I think we'll put an end to this. Thank you for coming here. Yeah, and I'll see you at the courts. Yeah.
So good luck, guys. See you on the court.